When the results were first announced in early September 2025, ARMY across the United States erupted with pride. Jungkook at number 1 and Jimin at number 2, two members of BTS securing the top 2 spots in America's most influential K-pop popularity ranking. It wasn't just a victory, it was a statement. For many fans, the news felt like a long-awaited reassurance. BTS had just completed their military service earlier in the year, and questions about whether their global influence would remain as strong were being whispered across the industry. This ranking answered those doubts with thunderous clarity. BTS is still here, and they are still unmatched. Jungkook's journey to the number 1 spot didn't happen overnight. His solo career had already been monumental with the release of Golden, an album that broke multiple streaming records and secured his name in the history of US charts. But 2025 added a new layer to his story: fashion. His New York Fashion Week debut with Calvin Klein was more than a runway walk. It was a cultural event. The world watched as the youngest BTS member confidently strode in bold designs, even daring to wear high-heeled shoes, challenging the norms of masculinity in Western fashion. American media outlets from Vogue to the New York Times covered the moment, declaring Jungkook not only an idol but a fashion icon. This fusion of artistry and cultural representation struck a chord in the United States, where conversations about gender, identity, and artistry are evolving rapidly. Jungkook wasn't just a singer on stage. He was a trailblazer redefining what it means to be a global pop star. If Jungkook is the spark of bold innovation, Jimin is the steady flame of emotional connection. His rise to number 2 in United States rankings proves the depth of his relationship with fans. In September 2025, Jimin once again topped South Korea's Brand Reputation Index, a recognition of his powerful influence at home. Yet, his US popularity shows how his appeal transcends borders. His artistry, marked by elegance, vulnerability, and authenticity, continues to resonate deeply with American fans who admire not only his music, but also his generosity. Jimin's donation of 100 million KRW to support educational opportunities in Jeonbuk touched fans around the world. ARMY communities in the US organized fundraisers in his honor, creating scholarships under his name and echoing his belief in giving back. In an era where celebrity influence often feels fleeting, Jimin proves that sincerity has no expiration date. Almost instantly after the results were announced, hashtags like #JungkookMostPopular, #ProudOfJimin, and #BTSLegacy trended on X, formerly Twitter. Fan-made edits flooded TikTok, pairing Jimin's ethereal performances with Jungkook's powerhouse stages, under captions like "King Side by Side, Always." One fan from Los Angeles wrote, "This is not about number 1 or number 2. It's about seeing Jungkook and Jimin carry BTS's name higher together. They're a team, and we're so proud." Another from New York added, "Jungkook in fashion, Jimin in philanthropy, both dominating music charts. Tell me again why BTS's influence would fade? It's only getting bigger." American media outlets were quick to frame the results as a friendly rivalry, but ARMY pushed back. To fans, Jungkook and Jimin are not competitors but complements. Their synergy has long been evident on stage, Jimin's smooth grace balancing Jungkook's explosive energy. Together, they form a performance dynamic that few duos in pop history can rival. Industry analysts, however, see a deeper implication. Placing first and second in the US is not just a personal achievement. It positions BTS as the only K-pop group with multiple members dominating American popularity simultaneously. This sets the stage for potential duet projects, joint endorsements, or even a co-headlined US event that could shake the industry. Now the question buzzing in every fan forum is simple. What's next? Could Jungkook and Jimin collaborate on a special single ahead of BTS's comeback? Could they headline a charity event together, blending Jimin's philanthropic heart with Jungkook's global star power? Or could their shared popularity drive BTS's long-rumored 2026 world tour into new historic heights? The speculation is endless, but the certainty is clear. The bond between Jungkook and Jimin, both personal and professional, is stronger than ever. To fully appreciate the significance of this ranking, one must remember BTS's history in America. From their historic Billboard #1 streak to their sold-out stadium tours across Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, BTS has rewritten what it means for Asian artists to succeed in the West. Now, in 2025, with Jungkook and Jimin leading individual charts, the legacy continues. They are not just maintaining relevance, they are expanding the boundaries of influence, proving that BTS's impact is not tied to one era but is a continuous evolution. And perhaps, as one army from Chicago wrote online, the rankings say more about the future than the present. If Jungkook and Jimin are already #1 and #2 separately, imagine the power they'll unleash together when BTS returns as 7. When the poll results crowned Jungkook and Jimin as the two most popular K-pop idols in the United States, US entertainment outlets wasted no time. Articles from Billboard to Rolling Stone highlighted the achievement, framing it not just as a fan-voted victory, but as evidence of BTS's continued cultural presence in America. Music analysts compared the moment to 2020, when BTS first topped the Billboard Hot 100 with Dynamite. But this time, the spotlight was on two individuals rather than the group as a whole. Variety noted, Jungkook and Jimin's placements prove that BTS's influence is no longer confined to collective activity. Their individual brands are strong enough to dominate globally on their own. The results didn't just live online, they spilled into the real world. In Times Square, New York, fans pooled funds to purchase digital billboards congratulating Jungkook and Jimin. In Los Angeles, ARMY organized a flash mob dance event where participants performed both Jungkook's 7 and Jimin's Like Crazy. Houston fans held a charity drive in Jimin's name, raising money for local schools to mirror his own donation to students in Korea. Meanwhile, fans in San Francisco celebrated Jungkook's win by holding a pop-up gallery of fan art inspired by his Calvin Klein runway debut. These grassroots celebrations proved that BTS fandom in America is not just about music. It's about community, activism, and creativity. At the heart of this story are two very different personalities. Jungkook is often described as fearless, bold, and experimental, a risk-taker who thrives on breaking boundaries. Jimin, on the other hand, embodies elegance, warmth, and consistency, a performer who connects deeply with audiences through emotion. Fans often joke that Jungkook is the fire and Jimin the grace, but together they form an unshakable balance. Their dominance in the US rankings demonstrates that American fans are drawn to both qualities, the bold innovation of Jungkook and the emotional artistry of Jimin. What could these rankings mean for the music industry? Experts suggest three possible scenarios. A joint endorsement campaign, with Jungkook already leading Calvin Klein and Jimin frequently collaborating with luxury brands. Marketers predict a potential co-endorsement targeting the American market, a surprise duet release. Fans speculate that Jungkook and Jimin might record a joint single to celebrate BTS's reunion, capitalizing on their current US popularity, leadership in BTS's comeback. As BTS prepares for their highly anticipated group comeback, Jungkook and Jimin could take center stage in promotional campaigns, leading global media appearances in the United States. To fully grasp the weight of this achievement, one must revisit BTS's history in the US. In 2017, they first performed at the American Music Awards. By 2019, they sold out the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles, an achievement few Western acts can claim. By 2021, they were delivering speeches at the United Nations, representing not just music but global youth culture. Now, in 2025, their youngest and most charismatic members are carrying that torch. Jungkook's #1 and Jimin's #2 rankings are not isolated victories. They are extensions of a legacy that began years ago and continues to evolve.